Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Wrestling for Life Network. Yes, you were expecting to see someone else today. It's usually LJ here with the updates, but we're filling in. It takes two to fill her shoes. I'm KJ as always, and that is my boy Will. How are you, Will?
I'm doing good, and wow, what a day of news do we have, especially after a wild Oscars last night, man.
I think that's still the biggest news going. And I mean, all the memes and gifs and everything else circulating with Will and Chris. Man, what a night at the Oscars. I mean, let's
And
get
that's
them set up for Mania. I'll tune in for that.
and that's weird that we also have two members of our team called Will and Chris.
There
Isn't
you
it
go.
crazy how the universe works?
I hope you two don't start slapping each other, though.
Yeah, no, we ain't no
Wow.
chance.
Yeah, no chance. So that being said, folks, like I said, we're doing a little impromptu live version. Usually we do the recorded news updates and LJ's banging it out, but she came into some issues. We're here. We're gonna just jump on live. We're gonna run through some stuff and we're gonna talk about today's news. Just this way we can say we didn't miss. We were still here as we always are. So Will, LJ always starts off the news with this little ditty. So that's right. Today in wrestling history, what happened in 1999? The WWF at the time held WrestleMania 15 in Pennsylvania, the First Union Center, now known as Wells Fargo, where the Philadelphia Flyers play. Um, Essentially, the big crowd of 20,000 plus. We got to see this moment here on the screen. And yeah, the Undertaker beat the big boss man down from the, we get the brood rappel in. They give a noose to the dead man and they hang somebody on TV. I don't know if we're ever going to see something that intense ever again, Will, but
No, there's
that
no
happened.
chance.
No, know
Yeah.
what else happened on that night? Stone
Uh,
Cold Steve Austin defeated The Rock in a no DQ match. That was a big match, no DQ.
yeah, no. Vince McMahon tried to make himself the referee due to Mankind being injured in his earlier match, but Shawn Michaels, who was commissioner at the time, appointed a regular referee, which is the good old OG Mike Chioda, instead.
There you go, Mike Chioda to come out and save the day. So
He's the
yeah,
king.
that was a big match, a big moment. But that was your that happened today in 1999. Now, with
Yeah,
that being said, are you ready to get to some current news?
yeah. Let's get to some.
There you go. Story.
Oh, okay. Well, in other news, we have the king, my idol, MJF. He reveals he's done voiceover work for an animated film releasing it next year. And his quotes say, I've had a lot of different offers for different things. I've already done a voiceover for an animated movie that I cannot discuss, but it'll be coming out in 2023. I'm excited. Quite frankly, when people think about professional wrestlers and acting, you get nervous because most professional wrestlers cannot act. I mean, you put a red light in front of their face, and the best thing they could say is, oh, I'm going to kick your ass. But that's not my thing. I'm a bright guy, just like John Cena, The Rock, and just like Batista is a bright guy. Elsewhere in the interview, MJF talked about not liking New Japan Pro Wrestling, Cody Rhodes, and the current WWE product. But MJF loves his opinions. He loves talking trash and everything. And speaking of MJF, and speaking of our little intro about the Oscars, MJF members actually react to Will Smith slapping the good old Chris Rock at the Academy. Well, it's not the Academy Awards; it's the Oscars. Uh,
Oscars.
yeah, MJF had a reaction saying, "I can't believe Wardlow told Will to do that."
Right? I died when I saw that today. I sent it to the group because I was like, this guy trolling.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're trying to put a feud in the current news. I love it. I think that's excellent marketing strategy.
Yeah, it's genius. And I mean, like you said, one of the best doing it right now. Just quickly, we don't usually do this live, but
No,
hello, Anthony. Good to see you. CJ, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for coming back. And yeah, so that was MJF, eh? So he's
yeah,
up to good. Now,
He's
story
wild.
number 2. I thought the whole Will Smith thing made me laugh. I can't believe Wardlow told him to do that.
Yeah.
From there, Will, we're going to move on and talk a little bit about WrestleMania.
Woo!
And yeah, so what is happening with WrestleMania now? So we have a big match, obviously featuring Ronda Rousey, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Ronda. Let me get that all in the right order, all at the
Yeah,
same
no,
time.
I was gonna
This is,
correct you there.
thank you. This is why we let LJ do the news.
Yeah, way more
Uh,
professional. But we're so good though. You're still killing it, my friend.
that's right. So they announced the big match. Blah 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 blah. It was mentioned on Facebook, but then they quickly took it down. So clearly they didn't want that out there. It is possible that the match could be announced later or during the broadcast, but for now, we assume it is not going ahead as planned. Yeah, I think that was some old content that somebody accidentally put up, but it was Rousey. Let me say it again so everyone's clear on it. Rousey and Belair um, versus Charlotte and Becky.
Yeah, so it would be a tag team match, playa. But yeah, it's not advertising it anywhere else.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, normally they would advertise it on their website, on their Twitter.
Hmm.
But no, it's not happening. So
Nope.
I
So
wonder
yeah,
what else they have planned.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna go with it. I mean, we're expecting a lot on the go home shows this week, so we will see. Will and but yeah, so it is down, but I don't know even know where you would put it. I mean, we've seen the schedule come out and such, so maybe that happens on Monday, and they jump the gun.
I mean, maybe, or it could happen on good old Mania Friday with that
Maybe
lackluster show they're gonna have planned.
that's true.
Yeah. So, um, next, well, are we gonna move on?
Yeah, we can move on to the next story, folks.
Yeah.
Feel free to drop your comments in the chat.
So,
Tag along.
yeah, tag team match player. So WWE apparently is gonna create an amplified sports and entertainment experience for its growing global fan base. Fanatics, which is a different company, announced a comprehensive long-term sports and entertainment partnership that will see them expand their digital sports platform to create a new enhanced experience for WWE fans globally across several businesses, including e-commerce and licensed merchandise, as well as physical, digital, and NFT trading cards. They're really getting into those NFTs, man. I have no idea what they are, but it is what it is. So, yeah, through that deal, WWE will benefit from many capabilities across the Fanatics platform to create more opportunities to showcase their pride and passion for WWE, its marquee events, and star-studded roster. So, yeah, I mean, business. I've said it before. Business seems to come first. So, and NFT seem to be doing good right now, making a ton of money.
Ton of money. Yeah, no, there's tons of money there for people to um to sink into. There's so much being traded right now, and you see guys like Jericho and a bunch of wrestlers jumping on that train. So, yeah, I mean, interesting. And WWE's always trying to make more money. Why not? So,
Yeah,
that being said, folks, we're going to move on to the fact of we're already getting hints. Will Roman Reigns, The Rock, WrestleMania 39. We're already talking about it. We haven't even got through 38 yet, and the fans are already talking about what we all expect. Rock, Roman,
yeah.
WrestleMania 39.
Well, I mean, it is gonna be in Hollywood for Mania 39, so it's like I bet you they'll be trying so hard to get that big pop, and it's like people have wanted it for years. Might as well get it at least once.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I think you're going to get I mean, we've had this variation of it. I mean, it has so much potential. But The Rock wants a match, but nothing is etched in stone. He's very busy with the XFL. I mean, at one point, the XFL was talking about partnering with the CFL. Very interesting, fun fact.
Hmm.
The situation with The Rock is exactly what you would think Meltzer said. Now, keep in mind, this is from Dave Meltzer, who has shown that he's been a little who knows lately. The belief is The Rock wants to do it, They believe that it's probably the main event. It's probably the main event. Thanks, Dave. It is definitely going to be the main event. It is hugely anticipated. I think we're going to see Cena. I think we're going to see glitz and glamour and a whole bunch of shit. 39 is going to be crazy. Which the funny part is 40, obviously being a decade one, it's set to be huge itself. So 39 and 40 could be unbelievable.
Yeah, no, and usually like WrestleMania should be one of the best shows of the year. Are we gonna get it this year? That's up for debate. But 39 and 40 could be amazing, even if we get Reigns and The Rock next year. So
Yeah,
I'd be looking forward to it if it happens. So
absolutely. I still
yeah.
think Braun Breaker's going to be involved somehow.
Oh,
We got
don't
some.
remind me.
KJ, can you imagine if WWE decided to do similar style stable as AEW is doing with Moxley, Danielson, and Lashley and Lesnar? Or am I putting a little too much in the faith in the Vince? Yeah, no, I mean, they tried that. I mean, I see what you're saying with the two top guys kind of idea. I like the Hurt Business. I liked MVP. I liked what they were doing. They shouldn't have been broken up. It was a little early. I don't know how you feel, Will, but I mean, I like the Hurt Business and what they could have done. They were a good heel faction.
Yeah, no, I loved the Hurt Business back when they were a thing, and they were stars, and they took three talents that weren't doing very good at the time, and they made MVP literally rose them up, and it ended so quick, and a lot of people didn't like it. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want Lashley in any other faction besides the Hurt Business if I were to decide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he should be a leader. I mean, he stands kind of in that, in that line. Like he should be at the top of the pile. It's hard to think of him being subservient to somebody, but it could be done.
Yeah.
Whereas LJ, she's usually doing the news segment. Hey, you show up late, you don't find out the information. No, I'm just kidding. LJ had some difficulties, some technical difficulties and such. And Will and I decided to jump on and do a fun live one. And hopefully we're doing her some justice. I know the fans out there are probably disappointed about not seeing Lyra Joe. I get it. She kills the news. It's her baby. We miss her too. So, but me and Will are doing our best. It took two of us to do this.
Yeah, no, and that just shows the worth that LJ has. It takes two of us to replace the one. And don't worry, you'll see her next time. So
Yeah.
just this is one time only. Give us cut us some slack.
She'll be back.
She'll be back.
All right. With that being said, where are we going next?
Shut up!
All right, that's cute.
Oh, geez, I never even realized how loud that is with headphones on. But
right?
man, that scared me. But yeah, as part of LJ says, or should I say now, KJM will say,
There you go.
number one, Bryan Danielson has a Napoleon complex.
That's the theory we're running with today, folks?
Yeah,
I'm reading it here first.
you heard it here first. Napoleon complex. So Paul White, obviously a Big Show fame, details Bryan Danielson's backstage aggression towards giants. Paul White is afraid of Bryan Danielson, but also admires the wrestler that he is. The AEW star explained why in an interview with the Raw Brown Show. So yeah, apparently he doesn't like giants. But anyways, we'll read this quote. I defy you to find a better in-ring technical wrestler today than Bryan Danielson, and I would never say that in front of him to his face. Obviously, Daniel Bryan Danielson. I keep calling him by the old name.
That's not just us.
Yeah, it's just like us. You gave me my shortest title reign ever, I think, when I beat Mark Henry. My title reign was all like 10 seconds. So there's still a lot of heat between Mighty Mouse and I. I'm just letting you know. I think that Bryan Danielson is a bully. That's a joke, actually, but I think he's a bully. He has a thing where he'll come up behind giants and try to choke them out. So I always have to be really nervous in AEW. That creepy little monster's trying to run up behind me and choke me out. It makes my life in AEW a little bit nerve-wracking. Paul White then proceeded to tell a story of Daniel Bryan intimidating him and Mark Henry when the two were looking to get a water bottle backstage. All of this added to the evidence that Paul White is afraid of one Bryan Danielson. Mark Henry and I are very nice people, White said. We're not bullies. We're very kind. When you walk by Bryan Danielson, he grits his teeth and his eyes get all crazy. And it's like you can tell he's looking to try to dismantle you. And you're like, look, buddy, I just want to get a water from the cooler. I don't want any trouble. Mark Henry and I will sit over there and get dehydrated because we're scared to go over to the water cooler to get water.
Really?
So I don't know. So Will says Giants are good people. Don't judge them. They're not the same as they are on TV.
KJ says this is a shoot, and these two fellas need to man up. I picture them in the backstage playing, volleyball with Daniel Bryan. Never mind, afraid that he might choke them out.
I can't get a water bottle without getting choked out by.
Tony, Bryan won't let
guy.
us get a drink again. Like, seriously, that's kind of a funny story. I do appreciate what the show was throwing out there, but I have to admit I'm a little surprised at those two gigantic men being terrified of little Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, he's like what 5'5",
like 140
around there. Like what? 2 7 foot tall or close to men are just like, oh man,
giant men.
He's
do you guys
afraid.
think? Yeah, right. Do you guys think that Austin was still around and didn't have to retire because of his injuries? He would, as elaborate as WrestleMania entrance as compared to guys like Triple H. And yes and no. I think I don't think he's that elaborate guy. I think you might get cool glass breaking, which we saw, or coming in on a truck or coming in on a dirt bike or something. But I don't think it would be that elaborate. But definitely would have saw some good Stone Cold entrances, Will?
Yeah, no, I don't think he'd be the kind of guy to like come out with like 1,000 Stone Colds with him, or
can you imagine?
Yeah, or little women handing him a Coors Light. But I think we still would have some cool glass breaking or something like that. But I guess we'll never know, or we will know on Sunday or Saturday.
We'll find out what his entrance can be on Sunday. So we'll see. Quickly before the next story, sounds like you guys need another guy. There you go. Yes, we do. I like the way you think. You're gonna have to live stream us from Mania. There you go. Oh,
yeah,
there you go. You caught up.
My stream was so behind.
There you go.
As long as it was behind and no longer is, then that's fine, my friend.
Speaking of being a little behind, the next story brings us to this gentleman, the absolute GOAT as far as I'm concerned, and the legend that is Ric Flair. He continues to make headlines. His I don't know if you knew, but he recently started a podcast. It's not that old, and him and his podcast host got in a Twitter brawl, and he quit. Not Flair, the Twitter host, Mark Madden. Mark Madden is out. He's had enough. WWE Hall of Famer was embroiled with a war of words. Again, Twitter, and actually, instead of talking about it, LJ was kind enough to prep. I don't know how well anyone else out there can see it, but yeah, it's just a lot. It just went back and forth. But he kind of fired him online.
Wow!
Have another drink, God. You think you're the gift.
God gave you the gift of life. Oh, that's in reference to his health issues. Ooh.
Yes.
Ouch. And then there's another one at the bottom left. Rick 1 week. I want the podcast to be current. Next week, who's Jay White? Never heard of him, for fuck's sake.
Now that I believe a little bit.
Yeah, I believe that. Obviously you see every week. I'm just like, what's Impact? I don't know.
Right?
Yeah. I appreciate you, but actually I relieved you of your duties. Best of luck with your work. I'll be back and better than ever next Monday, going home to my son-in-law. Hey, good thing you're seeing Andrade, but wow.
Okay. That was a little bit of Ric Flair. To this day, the man finds a way to make news. So I'm guessing, according to him, he'll be back sometime with a new host and still moving forward, whether it's current or old. I don't know what they're going to do. But I really do think that social media and specifically things like Twitter are detrimental to business, detrimental to the elderly, detrimental to relationships. It's just detrimental at this point. So, yes, I think more people need to stay off Twitter and stop arguing with each other. So,
yeah.
With that being said, Will, we're on to I believe, the final story.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, yeah, the final story, Ricky Starks.
Terrible transition. I'm sorry.
That's all good, man. Ricky Starks helping autism. That's good, man.
Yep. It's
On
amazing,
Friday's
actually.
episode of Sirius XM, yeah, we'll get to that later on how amazing that is. FTW World Champion Ricky Starks appeared, and he opened up about his personal life when he used to work as a gymnastics coach and taught disabled children. Ooh. So he says he takes his endeavors outside the ring very seriously. It's very important to me, working with charities and organizations. I used to actually, before pro wrestling, do for a part-time job, used to be a gymnastics coach. So I would go to different schools, and it would range from ages 1 to 6. And so I would help kids with their motor skills and things like that, agility. It included some kids that actually had autism and other disabilities. So to me, it's very important to go out and do these things just because I like to give back. It's cool to have an impact on someone else's life, you know. To them, I'm just a wrestler. But on the other side of it, this person now has a memory and they feel good. And they can understand that things can be done because they are hearing from someone that they may look up to, or whatever the case may be. I work with Culture City when it comes to autism inclusion and at our shows, and make sure that they have these sensory rooms and people can enjoy wrestling without having to be so stressed out, you know, ultimately having a bad experience. The experience should always be a good one. Ricky Starks also opened up about being able to approach wrestlers such as Sting and Chris Jericho backstage to pick their brains. I had a conversation with Sting like 2 weeks ago where I just went into his trailer and we talked. Sting is a great person to talk about literally anything to, and he gives his own insight that he can from his past experience. Same thing with Chris Jericho. And we just talked, and he doesn't talk to me like I'm so used to people talking down on me and talking to me as if there's such a difference in levels of where we're at, that sometimes I don't always approach them when I should. So I've started to get out of that more. He was in WWE briefly to be slapped by Stephanie in a backstage segment. I think that's in response to Ricky. But Chris was great. Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko, all these people. Christian too. Just working with him. All of these people I can gain so much. And honestly, that's all I've ever wanted. Like, I've always wanted just someone to give me a knowledge. Punk is another dude that will watch my stuff. These people, they're willing to give, and that's always been my biggest thing, is like, so it's cool to be surrounded by these people. So yeah, I mean, wow, that was quite a story. I mean, oh, where am I? There we go. Yeah, no, I mean, and that just goes to show not everyone. So Will says not everyone is who they are on TV. Remember, people in wrestling are just characters. So for Ricky Starks to be a part of um, this huge charity for autism and other people with disabilities, like, remember, people can be stressed so easily. I have autism. A little bit of an open up for me. And you can get stressed out so easily. Like, remember the screaming crowds, the loud ass pyro, everything. So for them to be in these sensory rooms and everything, even if you're watching like from the far stands where the bars are, even then, like, that's still a good experience. You're still there. So I just love how Ricky Starks has is doing this, and my respect for him has just gone way up from here now. So yeah, Will says good job.
I'm not even going to say anything in addition to that, Will. That was amazing. Opening up, talking about it. I'm sure it's a hugely relatable story, bud. So
It is.
kudos to you, and kudos to Ricky. I got nothing more to say on that.
Wow.
It's remarkable.
Yeah,
So,
it's wow, that was a good story. I needed that. I don't want to be emotional here, but yeah, it is what it is.
no, man, it's good. That's what the best part. That's why we leave our botches in. That's why we talk from the heart from day one. You saw me what I was like when Scott Hall happened, man.
Yeah, no.
It's touching, and we're real. If nothing else, we might not know more than everybody. We might not, do things a certain way, but we're having a whole lot of fun, and we're real. We're us, and it's a great time, and that's amazing. And again, it's a real cool story for you to relate to, and yeah, I mean, I'm speechless, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm speechless too. It's just like I just had to open up about that because that was just so cool. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, it's done with the news, which means now we're on our question of the day.
That's right, sir. These are really cute when you're on the back side of it. Like when you're
Yeah,
like
I know.
the video back, but they're kind of fun. I
And the
like it.
music too. I like that.
That's good music. The question of the day today. I actually should have put it on the little bar, but I didn't.
You should.
Question for the fans out there. If you want to put it in the chat, let us know. We talked earlier about MJF. He's done some voiceover work. He's lending his voice out there. So let me know, what Disney character would you like to see MJF do the voice of? Would it be a villain, a bad guy, Pixar? I don't care. Let us know where you think MJF's voice belongs in a cartoon. And I don't know if you have any early ideas, Will. I'm kind of just like,
I think he'd be a pretty good Sid from Toy Story.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
He'll just be screaming at the toys, being like, "You suck! I'm gonna blow you up.
I'm better than all of you, and you know it."
Yes. These toys are mid.
These toys are mid. That's the best. Huge prediction for WrestleMania. I can see you. Legado showing up.
Hoping Ray and Dominic win the match against Miz and Logan Paul, with Legado being the face on the main roster. So what? It's like a big stable between Ray, Dominic, and Legado. I don't know.
Anthony wants this to happen. So real, he really does want this to happen. He really does want the or even the twist where Dominic joins them and
yeah,
his father, which I'm okay with that one.
He really wants Legado and Ray and Dominic together or against each other. I mean, I'm good with against, but with, I'm a little iffy on.
Right. Anthony says he doesn't want to hear MJF at all. I think Sid would be perfect. I think join Guardians of the Galaxy. There you go. Maybe
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocky Raccoon as MJF as Rocky Raccoon.
Yes. That'd be sick.
That's it. Well, Will, this is our edition, our impromptu live fill-in for LJ edition of the news today. It's our daily update. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being open. Thank you for touching all our hearts. And that was a good one. I had fun.
Yeah, it was a good one. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, we are the Wrasslin for Life Network. We do watch-alongs. We do watch parties in media, mind you. Yeah, there we go. We do weekly power rankings. The Let's Rumble podcast will debut very, very soon. The Memory Lane, which I think we already said. And we do a ton more on the news as well. How could I leave that out? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like wrestling and you like a couple of buddies being here, being real, and everything. Oh, and CJ says we're an hour away from our Raw watch party, which is weird. These days are going by very fast.
That's it. I need some grub.
I made sure to grab some before I came on here, but so we just hit 70 subscribers. So if you guys have already subscribed, I just want to take my time to say thank you, or I thank you for 70 subscribers. And so there's me, there's KJ, and of course LJ and Chris, which I believe you'll see them later. And we will see you guys later. KJ, you got anything else to say for that?
Yeah, I just want to let everyone know that we are in the midst. We've kicked off our WrestleMania week. We're going to have so much fun. Like Will said, the content is crazy and it's nonstop daily news coverage, but we're heading into the weekend. Obviously, WrestleMania is right around the corner. We might get Chris Rock and Will Smith, fingers crossed. No, realistically, we Thursday night, we have our usual Impact watch party, but we're also going to do Joey Janela's spring break. So we're going to stay on extra long. We're going to get a few hours in on Thursday night. We're back at 6:30 p.m. on Friday. We're going to blow it out. We're going to watch as many shows. I could barely fit all the information on the thumbnail this morning. But Friday, we are going to blow it out. We're going to have so much fun. Supercard of Honor, if you're a big Indies fan, Ring of Honor fan, we will be doing a watch party for that. We're doing Impact's Multiverse. And then Saturday, Sunday, both days, noon to whenever. Both days, we're doing a 24-hour WrestleMania extravaganza. After doing about 10 hours Thursday, Friday, we're coming back for 24 more. And we are going to have so much fun doing that. CJ, if you're in Dallas, check in with us. Maybe we'll hook you up and we'll get you on live from the crowd. Who knows, folks? But we're always having fun. I can't wait for this weekend, Will. And thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this today.
Yeah, and thanks for doing it with me, man. Killed it.
Absolutely. We'll see everybody tonight. Raw watch party. If you like to have friends with you and watch wrestling tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 3 hours. Go home. Are we going to get Cody Rhodes? Tune in. Let's find out. And until then, we'll see you on the flip side.
Thank you.